Yo, what's going on everyone, and welcome back to Getting Better at Forsaken. In this video, we are going to be going over Jason. I'll put the times on screen right now. I played 2 matches and a 1v1 against the 6th highest ranked person in competitive Forsaken for 1v1s. So I'll go over those matches with you, and let's just hop straight into the gameplay for you guys. So there are a couple things you need to keep in mind when you are playing Jason, and the first is that you need to watch out for stuns. As Jason, you are the most vulnerable killer, and if you get stunned a lot, you're gonna lose, and that's just a given. Make sure you're always looking around and always aware of your surroundings. This goes for every killer, but Jason specifically benefits the most from this. So let's start looking at the background gameplay here, and I'll show you what I'm doing more in depth because killing that AFK guy, anyone can do that. So here we go. When we begin the chase here, I know I'm low on stamina, so I immediately pop Raging Pace, and everyone is just low around me and not really doing much, so I get to easily drop this 2 time pretty quickly here. And what you'll see here is I'm always aware, and I immediately get to punish on this chance. And this chance is going to run around very sporadically. You really need to keep track of the survivor's stamina, because look, this chance is running so sporadically that when I run out of stamina, I know he's out of stamina, so I can actually go for a Gashing Wound here. Gashing Wound is your best friend when you know the other player is out of stamina, because when they're out of stamina, they can't really avoid the Gashing Wound. There's nothing they can do about it. So if you know someone's out of stamina, then do go for that. That's when you're going to want to use Gashing Wound other than for punishing stun mistakes. And right here, I just dropped straight on Elliot's head. They had no idea. When you're using Raging Pace for vision, you can try to be as unexpected as possible, and yeah, Elliot never saw me coming. And you can see why shift lock is so bad here. It's a good thing that I don't use shift lock because I was able to turn around so fast there and get the drop on that guy. And here, I will let you all know that this chance is someone from my competitive team. So when you get the chance, if there's 2 people left and you have a lot of time left, just just go for the other person, alright? Get one person super low and go for the other person. But as you can see right here, I got to 0 stamina, so I have Raging Pace and start catching up to him. He has a lot of distance on me, and I know this, so I'm just going to try to hold my corners as tight as possible and just keep trying to track him. No tomfoolery, no trickery. You're playing Jason, so just beeline it straight. He uses his stun here, so now I know he's out of his stun. Chance will almost never get their stun again in chase, and if he does, you've probably already lost at that point. But I regain the chase right here and completely start chasing him. You have to watch my other video if you want to see how to keep your pathing as good as it can be. But right here I hit 4 stamina and immediately Raging Pace. When you are playing Jason and you want to catch up to somebody, use all of your stamina and then Raging Pace. Not 0. Never 0 your stamina. Just make sure you hit like 1 stamina and then Raging Pace, because you'll catch up to him like you can see me right now. And eventually, I do eventually kill him. So I'm like, well, I've got this game in the bag. It's no problem at all. I just have to go finish off Elliot and we are good to go. And that's exactly what I do. He does pop a medkit, but I already know this Elliot's just about good as dead. I reset my stamina here, and he's just completely running in circles and dying. It's no problem at all. And that's the first match for you, so let's move on to the second match where there's even more good stuff for you. Here in game 2, I can almost immediately give you a really good tip here. Don't mind my chat, I was just talking to my teammate. But this guest charges and immediately misses his charge. And be wary, when guests miss their block, you can do this. If they have nowhere to go, you can get a hit on them and then a Gashing Wound if they have no linear space to move, because he's kind of stuck against the wall here. So you actually can see this in action. I get a hit on him and then a Gashing Wound because his block still had him on slowness. So I actually get a double combo there. It won't work all the time, but it works like 90% of the time if you get them in a good spot. And now that he has no block, he's just dead. I hit him with the 1-2 combo, the M1 into behead combo. I only use the M1 behead combo when it kills usually. And that's really when you should be using behead as well, as when it kills, because that's really the only useful time for it, since it does give you slowness. Of course, I'm watching out for the chance here, making sure that the chance. See, I shouldn't use behead there, but I'm watching for the chance, making sure he doesn't come and help this Elliot. And of course, Elliot paths pretty badly and dies here. Again, watch my other video on pathing if you want to get good at that, but this is for Jason here. So once again, I'm looking for someone and immediately get sniped through the wall. I didn't even see Chance that time, so I'm like, well, dang, all right. I didn't know you were about that life. So I start chasing the Chance because, well, I'm not going to let him do me like that, but then the two-time backstabs me here because I stopped paying attention and started getting a little too laser focused. So you can see what happens when you do get too laser focused. So I start going for two-time now. I know I'm decently low on stamina, and they probably have more stamina than me. I only go for a behead because I know I'm lower on stamina. If you are lower on stamina, you can get a guaranteed hit with behead. I think that's a better spot for it. But yep, I hit 0 stamina, use my raging pace, immediately catch up, and it's basically wraps for this two time. I'm watching out for my teammate there. He tries to hit me with a stab, but no chance at all. So now moving on, and of course I see 007 here, probably newer to the game, but of course if you can ever get a gashing wound chance, then you should of course take it. And he's going to fall shortly after this because he's, like I said, probably a newer player. But if anyone tries to like path you or juke really weird, here's the thing is Jason. And we're with any killer really, but especially Jason, if people try to juke you, just stand still. Alright, just stand still, let them run out their stamina trying to juke you, and then once you have enough stamina, just hawk them down after that, and you'll be good to go. So I see this builder man up here, and obviously when you fall from high spots, you get slowness for a little bit. So I use that to my advantage and get this builder man in a bad spot, and he goes down really fast. So now I'm thinking, huh, there's a chance, and there's the teammate from my comp team. I really want to go for my teammate. I was like, oh man, that's chance though. But you know what? I have 3 minutes on the clock. I might as well get chance low. But then I see my teammate here, so I'm like, oh shit, well this is like a heavenly reward. So I immediately get two hits on him. He's low on stamina. He was in a really bad position. See? You were in a really bad position there, but I do zero out my stamina, and I don't have raging pace here, so I can't do anything about it, really. Pretty bad mistake on my end there, so I fully get my stamina back and start going at it once again. And of course, he goes through the poison because he's already low on health, so it won't really do much. And that's when I decide, well, he's going to be really low on health, so I might as well go for a chance instead and try to find where Chance is at. I don't see Chance anywhere though, so I'm like, you know what? It's not worth it wasting a ton of time trying to find Chance. I'll just finish off my teammate here. He's definitely the bigger threat anyway. He does get that, but I finish him off immediately because of that headless, or because of that behead. And now I'm thinking, alright, this guy's across the entire map. He could give me a run for my money here. Because, as we all know, this is the best looping spot in the game, in my opinion. So I'm like, shoot, yeah, you could give me a run for my money if I'm not careful. I'm trying to make sure, but he doesn't start running until I'm almost right next to him. So I'm like, okay, I'm in a much better spot here. But of course, he did pop a cola. So once I hit 1 stamina, immediately raging pace. Once it's hit 70, that's when I click it. Once you hit 70 to 80 stamina, that's when you should be clicking. He pulls out his gun, I react to it, and then I'm able to get the hit into gashing wound combo that I told you about earlier with that guest. And from here on out, he's just completely destroyed. There's nothing he can do to get out of this situation besides stall for maybe a couple more seconds. But I get another hit on him, and that's going to be the end of this match. After, of course, step ahead, because he had more HP than I thought, but that's going to be the end of him. So let's move on to the 1v1 against the number 6 rated player, and I can really break it down for you. Alright, this guy's name is Exatesis, and he is the number 6 1v1 player in competitive Forsaken right now. So let me break it down for you. I did lose a lot to this guy. I'm only showing you the rounds where I did win this, or win the killer round. I did actually win against him as the Jason twice. So immediately I go to the God Loop and then try to get a fake on him here, but it just doesn't work out because he listens to footsteps, so I probably shouldn't have wasted time trying to do that little fake move on him. He immediately goes in for a fast stun. I should have seen it coming right there because we're both super low on stamina, so it's my bad for not paying attention. He does get around me right here, but once I hit 0, I'm able to raging pace immediately, keep my eyes on him, and once my stamina hits 70, click. There you go. I wait until I have about 95 stamina to start up again. I notice he gets a bit of distance, so I wait. I get about 10 more stamina before going back in, and now we're in. I hit the corner because attack your corners is Jason. Alright? Jason attacking corners just hits everything. You'll notice that every time he runs around a corner, I'll try to attack it, just like this. And then I immediately pop another Raging Pace, because once again I'm low on stamina. And always click your Raging Pace when you're at a linear path. Don't overshoot a corner with it. Once again, I hit him at the end of that corner there. Pretty crazy hit, honestly. He misses his stun, and I do get him there to drop him. All right, round two of our 1v1, or not round two, probably like round three or four. He switches to guest here, and we are gonna see how it goes. Because I know he's a player that doesn't like to block, because as guest, that will come in the guest video later, but just don't, you won't be using block much. Just know that much. But here we go. I go immediately around the corner, try to keep up with him as you do as Jason. This is what you do. Once you hit 4-1 stamina, you raging pace, and you start catching up. That's just what you do, man. And you got to make sure that every time a survivor turns a corner that you try to get a hit on them around the corner because Jason's hitbox does kind of go through walls like that and it's really ridiculous. Again, I get another nice little hit here and he's going around this god wall once again and I know I'm going to run out of stamina here just a little bit, but he never blocks and I know he won't block. That's why I'm being so risky with my M1s because you have to know how your opponent plays, and I know he won't block. That's why I'm just going for these super risky things. Again, I hit 1 stamina, so I raging pace. Make sure that I only click it around a corner so I don't lose any distance with it. Get another good hit on him here. And once again, he's going to get more distance on me. He tries to turn it into a pathing game, but he's about gassed out here because I've already gotten so close to him. I know he's out of stamina, so I use Gashing Wound, and I do pick it up on him. And then I go for something risky here. I go for a behead. Usually guests can react to beheads, but I really wanted to try my luck here and try to end the round early, and it does end up paying off for me. He can't react to it, and he goes down. Alright, to recap this video, you need to know Raging Pace when you're at 1 stamina. Never Raging Pace for vision or anything like that. Whenever survivors turn corners, try to hit them through that wall because Jason's hitbox is really ridiculous. Only use your Gashing Wound when you are punishing a survivor for missing their stun, or when you know for absolute fact that they have gassed out on their stamina and you can get it for free. If people miss their stuns, specifically guest and chance, if they miss their blocker stun, you can get a hit on them and then Gashing Wound. Only use Behead if you're doing it to finish a kill, or if you're lower on stamina and it's a free hit before you gas out yourself. But thank you for watching this Jason video. Next up will be a survivor, and I'll see you all in that next video.